Hello everyone, my name is ClickFlow and welcome back to another episode of the Minecraft Thrive Guide. Hope you guys are having a good day. I'm having a pretty good one so far. As you can see by my my shulker box, my redstone box there, we're going to be working on another farm slash contraption up here in this area. And as you can already tell by the thumbnail of this video, today we are going to be working on a super smelter. So I've been in a creative test world and I think I've designed something pretty decent as far as a super smelter goes, and I'm pretty excited. We're going to put it along this wall here and it will automatically smelt all of our smeltables. If we want to turn cobblestone into stone, if we want to cook our food, anything like that, it's going to smelt that. And this is compatible for both smokers and blast furnaces as well. I'm just going to make it for a normal furnace, and we might expand it to be a little bit bigger in the future. This one is going to be 17 furnaces long, and this is completely tileable. You can build it as long or as short as you want to. But let's get into a little bit of the magic of this. So if I put down my shulker box here, the mechanic we are going to be using has to do with a furnace being able to output items and have them put input items automatically. So if we place a furnace right there and a hopper underneath it, anything that gets smelted and goes in this slot right here will be pulled out of the furnace and then emptied into whatever containment we have here. Most likely it's going to be a chest. And then if we come around and put a furnace on the back or on the side, it doesn't matter, that will input fuel into it. So if you put stuff in here, it will only input into this slot here. So only items that are compatible with fuel will be inserted into the furnace. And then the last one, of course, is the one on top, and that one will input items into the fuel smelting slot. So all of your ores, all of your smeltable items, your food, that will go along that top. Basically, we are just going to be taking this and expanding it along with hoppers and everything in order to make a long chain of these with hoppers in the back, hoppers on top, and hoppers underneath. And then having a minecart rail going along the top of this that will evenly distribute all of the items, all of the fuel, and all of the smeltable items through all of these different furnaces. And then all of them will output into a single chest. So I'm pretty excited about that. But so today's episode shouldn't be too complicated and it shouldn't take too long, but we will see nonetheless. So the first thing we are going to need to do, I'm going to build it along this wall here. And the reason why I'm making it 17 is because this length from here to the end over there is 21 blocks. And this farm does require, or this design does require 2 blocks of extra space before the furnaces start. So I'm going to come 2 blocks in on either side, and then this is where the furnaces are going to start. But we're not going to put it here. We're going to come in 1, 2, and then this is going to be where we first start ours. So we're going to actually make these, you can make them a little floating for right now. And I'm going to place all of these down along the chain, and we'll go from there. And we should see as we come up over here that we have 2 blocks of extra space right here. All right, now to get our item collection. So right in the middle of this, I think it's right about here-ish. If we place a hopper right there, now if we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Perfect. Yeah. So if we place a hopper right there just as a placeholder, and if we come around to the back of this, and I'm going to direct it into the back of that hopper there. because we're going to eventually want it to be directed into a double chest where all of the items will be collected. Then we want to go along and input the rest of these input hoppers into the next hopper down the chain. And the reason we're doing this is just for the sake of conserving the amount of chests we have to make. Of course, you can put a single chest for each individual slice, but that's just kind of unnecessary and honestly a lot of clicking when you're retrieving all of your items. So this way, it will allow us, when we make our chest, to all of the items will go into a single chest, and we can just access all of our smelted items from that chest. Alright, now that we have that chest, it wouldn't be a video in the Thrive guide if I didn't forget something, right? Now that we have that chest, we can place it right there, and now all of the items that get smelted will be funneled into this chest here. Now we are going to set up the fuel collection. So this has to be a little tricky, because if we just place one right here and then one right here, when the minecart rests right there, there will also be a minecart resting right here. And unfortunately, just how that ends up working is the hitbox of the hopper and the hitbox of the minecart will intersect, and it will consequently be pulling items from this hopper into the minecart. So you will have your smeltable items ending up inside of these hoppers here. So to prevent that, we're just going to extend this out one block. So this will be where the hopper minecart rail goes. Why can I not jump? Interesting. Anyway, so we're going to go and just place hoppers all along this. This is kind of a hopper intensive design. It does use a lot of iron, but we did make an iron farm in the last in the past on the channel, and that just produces tons and tons of iron. So I had no trouble scrounging together all of the iron for this build, so I hope you won't either. Alrighty. The next thing we're going to want to do is put all the hoppers in for our top collection mechanism. Alrighty. So now we have all of our furnaces put together and all of our hoppers placed on top and on the back. So this is basically the bare bones of our design. This is going to be how we're going to input and take out all of the things. The next things we are going to need is some solid blocks and some rails. I will be right back because I haven't crafted all my rails yet, but as soon as I craft those guys, I'll be back with you guys to finish this design. Okay, and we are back with all of the materials we need. We are going to need powered rails and normal rails and some solid blocks as well. We are going to need a few levers as well. That's not too hard, just some sticks and some cobblestone. But the first thing we're going to do is we're going to place a block there and a block there, and make sure there's a solid block on the end here. So, and then we're going to do the same thing up here. Put a solid block there, and then we're actually going to come out one more block so that we can place a solid block right there. We need that solid block. That is what's going to be redirecting all of the mine carts to their proper locations. Again, solid block, third solid block, and then place that one up there. So now when we install all of our rails, the mine carts will not fly off the track. They'll just hit that and then rebound and go down the track again. So now we're going to place a powered rail there with a unpowered or a normal rail here, and then the rest of these can be powered rails. We want to be careful how we power these rails specifically, because if we power if we power the hopper underneath them, then it will turn off it will lock the hoppers and not allow any of the items to make it into the item collection system. So that is how we're going to do this area right here. We're then going to get our lever right here, and you can place it right there and flick that. So this one is always turned on. We're also going to get a solid block, place it about in the center, and then right on top we're going to put a lever and then flick it. And we should see that all of these guys turn on. That is what we want to see. Now, if you do make this long enough so that the power doesn't reach all the way, you can just put go down the line and just place another block with a lever on top of it. That shouldn't be a problem at all. And then we're going to do the exact same thing on the top on this line out here. So we're going to place a powered rail there, normal rail, and then powered all the way down. So this does use quite a bit of powered rail as well. We also built a gold farm, so you shouldn't have trouble getting this much gold for this. It was just a few minutes of AFK for me, and then I got all the gold that I needed. And then for this one, I'm going to place the lever back here and turn it on from there, just because I want to make this thing look pretty, so it's not kind of a disaster to look at. Then we're going to want to place a block up there and then another lever on top of that. Okay, and for this one I am going to place the lever on the back again and flip that, and as you can see, all of the rail gets powered just like we want it to. And just to make sure that these guys work, if I activate this hopper right here and I place an item that can be smelted, doesn't look like I have anything. Oh, logs can be smelted. See, that gets sucked up and ends up in the furnace right there. So that's just how we like it, just how we want it to be. This is coming together nicely. So that is all the technical pretty much done. The last thing we're going to want to do is to install all of our input chests. So like I said, one of the last things we want to do is place in our input chests, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to place it right here and right here. So whenever the hopper minecart comes underneath this, it will start pulling items from the chest, and then as it goes back along its way, it will redistribute them along the way. Putting them kind of floating over the rail like this allows it to have two blocks of pulling the items from the chest instead of just a single block, which will increase our yield and the capacity that our system has to pull items and put them into the chests, into the furnaces, excuse me. Alright, so we're almost there with what we need to do. One of the last things that we want to do is to install a system that when we flip a lever, it will activate both of these powered rails here. So if we have a block there and a block there, and if we flick a lever, that will light that hopper, that one right there. Alright, so that's kind of a little roundabout the way that we did it. It's kind of a tricky system because just because of the cramped space we have here, but how I am doing it is I have one piece of glass right there which will allow the redstone to kind of tower down like we've done in the past. This one right here needs to be a solid block, and then this one right here needs to be a solid block as well. And so the redstone signal comes down, comes around here, but then does not connect up with this redstone here and goes into this block, which will allow this powered rail to be powered. And then this lever right here just automatically powers the system there. So if we flick that lever, both that one will turn on and the one down there will turn on. So that will activate the system and allow the minecarts to go back and forth. Powered rail are an exciting type of rail because it will power the minecarts. It will give them motion, but also when they are deactivated, it will slow them down, meaning if we have this system going and this is turned off, the rails will always come back and come to rest on that block, which will allow them to be filled up by our system. So that it ends up being a pretty nice design, a pretty nice way to go about doing that. So this time really the last thing we need is our hoppers. So if we go ahead, our hopper minecarts I should say. So if we go ahead and craft those up, we've already crafted minecarts in the past. So if we craft those two, and then we just get a couple of hoppers, we can insert them into the minecart and then send them down along their way. Alright, so we can place one hopper minecart right there, and then one hopper minecart right there. Perfect. Now if we flick this lever, we should see, I'm going to tower up one more block so that we can see both lines. We should see that both hopper minecarts run down the chain and then come back. And that is exactly what we see. And that is perfect. That's exactly how this system needs to be. So it will evenly distribute all of the items along these furnaces, and then they will come back to rest right there. Awesome. So that's how this system works. That is all the technical side of this done. The last thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to spend some time making this look pretty, and then make these chests up here accessible so that we can input all of the items we want smelted and the items we want to be distributed through the chain. Alrighty, I think we have our design, our little storage system, not storage system, furnace array. I think we have it all set up and built. Of course, this is our on and off switch. If we flick that, we can hear it all working. And if we come up here, we can see that both of those hopper minecarts are doing their thing. And then we have this little staircase that we can come up here, input our fuel, input our smeltable items, and then come down here and turn it on and off whenever we feel like. So I feel like that is a job well done. The last thing we have to do is to test it, of course. So I'm going to come in here, grab all my coal, because I think I'll be using most of my fuel for this system here. And then I'm going to come in here, and just for an example, I'm going to grab some things to cook. Raw cod seems like a pretty good thing because that's our fuel source, our food source. So I'm gonna grab several stacks of that. Sorry, my inventory's a bit cluttered right now. So I'm going to first come over here and put all of my coal in here, and as you can see, it's being drained quite rapidly. That is by design. The hopper minecarts can pull items 4 times faster than the average hopper can. So that's why we put this there directly above the hopper to save space and to ensure that the items are drained fairly quickly. So then I'm going to go ahead and put all of the raw cod in there, and we can see that going and draining. This oh, not that one. This chest down here, why can I not click on it? That's awkward. Is already drained, so all the coal is already in that hopper there, the hopper minecart. And this one will be filled up shortly. It has 5 slots available to be filled. As soon as that is filled, you can see it stops, and that is completely full. Now the last thing we have to do is to flip this lever and watch it go. Okay, I made an absolutely silly mistake, completely my fault. Oh, I feel kind of dumb for that. Look at this right here. These hoppers are too low. They're going into the hoppers underneath the the furnaces. They're not even going into the furnaces. I put it in and I was like, why is it not working? Oh no, oh man. I'm going to go ahead, rip all of these hoppers out, and then put them where they're supposed to go. And then I will bring you guys back in for when we actually start this thing. Alright, I have been doing a lot of tinkering and such because it was really easy to move this up 1 block, but then to get that rail underneath it powered, I had to do a lot of tinkering. And the only thing that I could get to work with that design was to route the power down using glass blocks like we did before, and then down through this over and into that block where the powered rail is on, which unfortunately means we cannot put solid blocks here. So I'm having to put the solid blocks like that to cover it up. So what I might do is something like this, where instead I do that, just something like that to cover it up, which doesn't look the prettiest, but it is what it is. I think it still looks decent. And then we still have that lever right there that we can activate. If we want to, we could even try something like this, which might look a bit better. I don't know. Right now I'm just messing with how like the looks of it are and stuff. That's not super important, but it should be functional now. If we go ahead and come over here, now we can place all of our fuel like we had before, and then this of course already has all of our food. It's already pretty much been evenly distributed throughout all of them. So if we flick this lever, all of the fuel should be added, and just like that, there we go. As you can see, it lights all of those guys up, and then pretty soon we should start to see some cooked fish coming into here. Yeah, by the bucket loads. So you can see that we'll start getting 17 cooked fish every cycle that there is that it cooks things. So that cooks a lot of stuff really fast, and I'm really excited about how this came together. Folks, if you enjoyed this video, why don't you smash that like button, leave a like and comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for some more content. I hope you guys found this useful and interesting. I shared a good time, and I hope you guys did. My name has been ClickFlow, and I will see you guys next time. Bye for now.